Thank you. That was beautiful. I loved it. Thank you. I'm
You're
so
welcome.
glad you're creating that. Oh, magnificat, magnifying the presence of the divine. And this year we're looking at how can we do that in our lives, individually and collectively. And so we're using the soul's slow ripening, 12 Celtic practices for seeking the sacred. And not just seeking it, but finding it and embodying it. And this month, it's about dreams and the power of dreaming. And I think of the Magnificat and the angel coming to Mary, and that's one of those spiritual moments that transcends time and space and is like a vision or dream that has merged and touched outer reality in conscious awakening, that are moments of miracles and of insights and moments that we all are blessed to have at different points that help us have those big ahas and encounter life from a higher and deeper perspective. One of the channels through which we can do that is through dreaming. And dreaming transcends time and space and physicality. It's a threshold between the inner and the outer life. It's a link between the subconscious and the conscious and the superconscious, or the Christ light mind. It links and allows us to dance within those levels. It's not by accident that the eves before High Holy Days, before All Saints' Day, it's All Hallows Eve, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, the eve before Easter is a particularly holy time. The night before the solstice and the equinox and the other quarter turnings of the calendar, the night before, are times of sacred energy, because it is the void and the darkness and the potential out of which the high holy day emerges. And so it's a wonderful time to pray and meditate, to be still and know, and to seek dream wisdom and the wisdom that comes through prayer and meditation. Because these are those times where spiritual guidance and protection and nourishment and inspiration can really come to us and meet us right where we are at these threshold times that we recognize as particularly significant moments in the unfolding of our shared calendar. And what you dream and vision and what comes in prayer and meditation is frequently encoded for you to discern as you use the wisdom of your own soul and spirit, as you meditate and pray and carry it into the silence so that you can receive the insights and the messages that are coming from spirit to guide you. Both of the Fillmores, who were the beginning people for unity, Myrtle Fillmore and Charles Fillmore, both talked about the power of dreams. Charles Fillmore said that dreams are divine ideas meant to be reflected upon. Take what comes in dreams and realize they're like little shimmering pieces of light that have been given to you for you to discern and to reflect and to work with. He said, one of the surest proofs that you have opened yourself to spirit is that you begin to have symbolic dreams. Myrtle Fillmore had a symbolic dream that she wrote of. And she dreamt in her dream that she was walking alone and she came across a dry stream bed. And she said it was sandy and it was beautiful, but there was no water flowing through it. And so she stood there and she said, whence is the source of this stream? From where does the water come? And what happened was she began to hear a sound, and she turned. And above was a ledge of a rock. And over the rock, the water emerged and flowed. She said it was like a Niagara, this flow of water, and it filled this dry stream bed with water flowing, shimmering, cool water. And she carried that dream, and she remembered because it felt like it had an important message for her. And a while after that, she had some serious health challenges. And she says, I discovered when my life stream was low and I was about to lose it, there came pouring into me this truth. I remembered whence the source of my life and how it came over the rock that was higher than I. That dream became a reminder for her of that presence of the divine, flowing, ever flowing, and that all she had to do was remember the source, and that flow would come and meet her right where she was, even if she was parched and things were dry. The presence of the divine would flow, like the water that Jesus talked about to the woman at the well, the sweet water, after which you drink, you will thirst no more. This presence of flowing water, flowing spirit, Myrtle Fillmore's dream that she carried for the rest of her life and then shared with us so we can share it as well. In Unity magazine in 2012, they did an article on dreams and on dreaming. And they told this story of Myrtle Fillmore. And they also had a piece from Jill Millick's book, The Art of Dreaming. And I love what she said. She said, approach your dreams like art. And I would say, approach also the images, the messages that come in prayer and meditation and silence like art as well. Approach them with humility, accepting them and being willing to be unknowing and to open so that they can speak to you at many levels of being. Just like a beautiful piece of a painting or a beautiful piece of music, it touches us and speaks to us at many levels. Let your inner work that your soul is playing with offer you the gift of seeing it as something that is meeting you where you are with levels of understanding for you to unfold and discover. Robert Cheney of Astara said, dreams are a threshold to a greater life. And I loved it. He said there are 5 kinds of dreams, and I think you'll relate to all of them, particularly probably the first 2. The first one is the confused dream, where it's just a mishmash of things and doesn't seem to have any message or any theme. It's just confused. And it's your subconscious and your conscious working through things and realizing that this is something to figure out. There's something there to work with for your soul. The next kind is the connected dream. And that's where you realize that you've dreamed and incorporated pieces that were part of your day or perhaps the week. It might be a movie you've seen or a book you've read or a story someone told you, and somehow it gets incorporated in your dreams. So you're really connecting what you're receiving in your outer life with your inner life. And that's a portal of connection where the two begin to work together. The next is the symbolic dream, where rather than something that perhaps you'd actually experience that you incorporated, it's a symbol that comes to you, a story that emerges, perhaps a story that reminds you of a hero or heroine that you've admired. And you've always used them as a way to move forward on your spiritual path. So symbolic. And not only the classic symbolic meanings that you can look up, but the meaning for you in this moment for this dream on the journey of your soul where you are. The next is a prophetic dream where you begin to dream of what may come. You have foreshadowings. And I believe these dreams are to help us at a soul level to prepare for what is coming through the next portal that's going to be emerging. These dreams are wonderful gifts from Spirit. If you receive one that something is coming, it's giving you the space to do soul work. And the final is spiritual dreams, where you truly realize this was not just an ordinary dream. I was connecting with the divine. I got insights I never would have gotten on my own. I've gotten a healing. I've opened to possibilities. Spiritual dreams are where we've really connected with that superconscious, the Christ light. And so from confused, connected, symbolic, prophetic to spiritual, they're all part of our soul work when we enter that dream time space. He recommended something that I love that I'd like to offer to you. And it's when you are encountering a time in your life where there's a challenge or you have a question or you're seeking inspiration or healing. He said, as you go to sleep, say to yourself, this problem is capable of being solved in a spiritual way. I ask that as I sleep, my higher consciousness will find an answer to this problem and will communicate it to my normal consciousness. Go into your dream knowing that you have access to all these levels of process, including the spiritual, and that anything we encounter in our outer lives, the solution is not at the level that created the problem. It's at a higher level of understanding. And so open to receive whatever it is you need to begin to work through things in a spiritual way. And ask that as you sleep, your higher consciousness finds the answer. And as you awaken, your conscious mind receives the information to incorporate and embody. Solutions and insights will come, I promise. The more you practice it, the better you will get at it. I always love, Emily Cady said, it's spiritual practice. She said, it's like learning a musical instrument. You can't pick up a violin the first time and play beautiful music on it. Anyone who's lived with anybody who's learning how to play the violin can attest to that. But with practice, it turns into beautiful music. And so spiritual practice, she said, should be at the core of your life. Doing new things, new prayers, new meditation, new times in the silence, new prayers of embodiment where you walk in nature, new experiences as you encounter the dream time. Saint Ciaran from the 6th century is the saint for this month. And he had a dream of a great tree with fruit abounding beside a stream in the middle of Ireland. And Abbot Etta of Inishmore, where he was, said, the tree is you, reaching out to offer your ministry to Ireland, and you will protect all, and there will be abundant fruit. Do it in the center of Ireland and in the center of your own being. And so he said, go build your church in the center of Ireland on a river. And he did that and created a great monastery. We had people who dreamed into possibility, unity of Port Townsend. It began in the early 80s as a study group. It began to center in 1989. I came in 2003. In 2005, we began to stretch out the branches and we became Unity Church under the Association of Unity Churches with full status. We did appreciative inquiry. We began to vision a possibility of a new home. We were at the Masonic Hall in plastic boxes each Sunday. We had everything we would set out for the Sunday. In December of 2012, and it was on December the 21st of 2012, the Mayan calendar day, which was actually numerically the day of the Christ, we signed the papers for what became the Unity Spiritual Enrichment Center. All along, people were dreaming, envisioning, and praying and embodying this into reality. And so we are here. This is our home. The walls themselves were painted with our love and devotion, and they hold that energy. St. Ciaran had a dream and started his monastery in the center of Ireland to welcome pilgrims to study and to pray and to connect with Spirit together. And all of us, and those who have gone before, and those who have yet to come, who've been calling for this, all of us are part of the tree beside the stream here in the center of Port Townsend that is our very own Unity Church of Port Townsend and our spiritual enrichment center that is our beloved home where we can gather. So let us give thanks for unfolding dreams, unfolding visions. Let us magnify possibilities with love and grace to continue to move forward together in ways that will transform us and will transform our world for the betterment of all. We truly are an authentic, transformative spiritual community centered in God. We co-create a world that works for all. Let us live our dream and our possibilities, remembering, like Myrtle Fillmore, right where we are from above, all the blessings will flow that will help us do what we've been sent to do and be who we've been sent to be. And I can't imagine doing this without every single one of you. You are part of the community. You are part of this dream. And I give thanks that we get to do it together.